I need you to help me understand this, Amber, because Cumulus is not a small company. This is a gigantic corporation. They have several voices on the right. They employ people like my friend Dan Bongino, Larry O'Connor, all kinds of my friends who are very far right-wing are on there. This seems so odd for them to decide that you're just expendable because of an obvious joke. Explain it to me.
There's a couple of things going on here. The first of which is that Cumulus is filled with liberals, okay? So they profit really handsomely off of conservative content, but they don't actually have conservative values. And so for them, if they're getting these emails from left-wing activists, they assume that the easy and correct thing to do is to just say, okay, we're washing our hands of this person. And then the other part of it was that I was a part-time co-host who had only been with the station for 6 months. So they thought that I was disposable, and I presume that they must have thought that I was going to stay silent about what happened to me, but actually the opposite happened, because my first instinct after I got this termination phone call was I'm going to blast these people because this is unjust and ridiculous.
I am glad you did, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that leads me right into my next question is, why do people on the right so often cower when these things happen? They cower, they hide, they don't get bold about it. I love what you did, because it's not very common on our side. We sit and we just complain and, well, it happened to me. I can't believe this happened, instead of attacking back the other way. Why?
So many reasons. I mean, you'll hear conservatives say, well, it's not in our principles to use the left tactics against them. And I say, well, what will you have left to defend with your beautiful principles if the left takes everything from you? And then also people are worried about future opportunities and whether or not they're going to be seen as a troublemaker. I think I'm already seen that way, so it doesn't really matter to me. And then there's the additional backlash naturally that you get from these left-wing activists celebrating the fact that you got fired and thinking that it's the greatest thing ever, and then going back and digging even further in your history and finding things from like high school and middle school and just trying to paint you as this horrible person. So I'll admit, it's not the easiest thing to do, but if you look at the past 3 years and everything that the left and the government has done to us, whether it's taking our jobs, shutting down our churches and communities, telling kids in, third grade that they need to be hating their own skin color or one of 30 made-up gender identities, it's not good enough anymore to say that you're afraid of the social and professional consequences, because pretty soon we're not going to have a country left to defend.
Yeah, look, I don't have any problem with any of that. I like it. I'll actually go a step further. That actually brings into mind this little video, Taylor Lorenz with the Washington Post, this little clip from MSNBC. I thought it was fantastic.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
Fine,
it's overwhelming. It's really hard.
I'm glad that it made you laugh too.
Oh, gosh. Well, one, it did make me laugh. Two, I think scumbag communist journalists should all have PTSD. I think we should give it to all of them.
Well, obviously she's lying about that anyway. I mean, give me a freaking break. I know a lot of people who, actually have committed suicide. And the idea that she's going to throw that out there on MSNBC to try to guilt trip people into not saying mean things to her on the internet is frankly disgusting. But besides that, she is one of the worst reapers of cancel culture. She literally made her career on it. She was behind the attempted cancellation of the CEO of Away, a travel company, and is constantly on the internet trying to talk about, she made up, I completely forgot about this until just now, she made up a quote from somebody on Clubhouse to try to cancel them by calling them a racist. And luckily there were other people in the same room who found out that this individual never actually said what she accused them of. And then she, ripped apart the Conway family by elevating their teenage daughter, who was obviously having issues. And now she's going to turn around and cry when the same thing happens to her. I mean, give me a break. And she is the person behind so much of this culture, and I'd love to see it turned around on them. They deserve it.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, The Forgotten Genocide, the first episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.